Hi, I'm Fred Sokolow, and this is a lesson on the music of ukulele legends. My good buddy Ian Whitcomb, a fine ukulele player and singer, wrote a book called Ukulele Heroes, a wonderful coffee table book that tells the history of the instrument and all the great players that are famous for furthering it, in the world. And my other good ukulele buddy, Jim Beloff, did a CD compilation called Ukulele Legends that kind of does the same thing in music. So both of those kind of inspired me to do a video lesson about the music, where I demonstrate how to play some of the tunes and some of the styles of the people that helped make the uke famous. Well, we'll start by tuning up in the typical My Dog Has Fleas uke tuning, and that's a G on top. Third string is a C. Second string E. And the first string A. So let's get started playing a very famous tune by one of the most famous ukulele players of all. Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain. Why am I happy and why do I sing? Why is December as sunny as spring? Why do I get up each morning to start happy and head up with joy in my heart? Why is each new task a trifle to do? Because I am living a life full of you. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain. Most people associate Singin' in the Rain with Gene Kelly and the movie called Singin' in the Rain, and I actually did a little tip of my hat to that arrangement with that intro and outro, which was in the movie arrangement. But the first person to have a hit with Singin' in the Rain, who kind of introduced the world to the song, was Cliff Edwards, otherwise known as Ukulele Ike, and that was way back in 1929. And Cliff Edwards is one of the biggest ukulele heroes of all. He's one of the main people that sparked the ukulele craze of the 20s, which extended on into the 30s and further. And that was a time when every pop singer had to either play a uke or pretend to play one, even at the level of Bing Crosby and people like that. And all of the sheet music from the 20s and 30s on up into the 40s, too, usually had ukulele chord grids over the piano music. So uke was a huge fad in the 20s, and Ukulele Ike was one of the main reasons for it. He was a superstar. He was in dozens of movies. He had many hit records. He introduced songs like Lady Be Good and Singin' in the Rain and a whole bunch of other ones that became all-time classics. He was kind of a crazy individual. One of the first people to scat sing on records, although they called it eefin in those days instead of scatting, and widely imitated by lots and lots of other players. He mostly accompanied himself with the uke and sang, and he was a terrific singer with a very high voice. You all have heard him sing because he's the voice of Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio, singing When You Wish Upon a Star, and throughout the movie he's the voice of the cricket, and he's also the Black Crows in Dumbo, by the way, and sings something about seeing an elephant fly. Never saw an elephant fly. So that was, Disney got him on his way down, but he was huge before that. And his ukulele style, it was also really beautiful. Even though it was mostly accompaniment, and he seldom played solos, he played beautiful stuff on the uke. Sometimes solo, just voice and uke. Sometimes he had a whole orchestra. And you can go on YouTube and see him doing Singin' in the Rain, where he's first by himself, and then there's a whole chorus of gals and guys dancing and pretending to play ukes. It's quite a production number. So Singin' in the Rain was one of his early hits. And we're going to take a look at the arrangement that I did of Singin' in the Rain, which is only vaguely, related to what he did. I mean, he did that introductory verse. Why am I happy and why do I sing? Why is December as sunny as spring? Everyone had introductory verses to songs in those days, and he did that one. And mostly he just strummed to accompany himself when he was singing in that particular recording. So let's talk a little bit about some of the techniques that were used in that arrangement. I'm talking about the right hand first. When I was singing, I was just strumming, and the strum that I use on the uke, usually when I'm just doing a rhythmic strum, is down with the index finger, with my fingernail, and up with my thumbnail. So you get that kind of a feel. And that's my basic backup strum for that kind of a beat. When I was soloing, I got more into using the thumb and the fingers and using the flesh part of my fingers. And I'll still strum down with my fingernails sometimes for the fill-in strums. See? And you can see what I mean. So I'm playing the melody and the chords at the same time. This is a chord melody style of soloing, where you play, for example, if the melody is singing in the rain, you go. So if you don't play a chord with every melody note, you at least play one with every 3 or 4 melody notes, and the listener hears the chords of the song that way. There's a lot of little chord changes happening throughout that tune, and my basic thing, even while I was strumming it and backing it up, was F, open C, which is C6, D minor, C6 again. So you got singing in the rain, just singing in the rain, like that. And that kind of evokes the real complete feeling of the song. There was a diminished chord in there, this chord here, and then it goes to C and C7th. And when I'm playing that C7th, I kept adding this D note, which gives you a ninth, actually. And let's see what else. Oh, there's a bunch of chords in that little introductory verse. It starts out here on this D flat. Why am I happy? And then back to the F, and goes back and forth. Then C7th, back to the F. A little run down to the D7th, to a G7th. And then it goes to a G sharp 7th. And I hit this note with it, like, to make it a ninth chord, and that's actually the melody note. Why? Like that. Da, 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 and then it goes back to the D flat and up 2 frets to this E flat 7 and down again, and then that takes you down to the G7. It's very clever. It's like a key change for that in part of the verse, and then it comes back to the F, the key of F, which we started with. looking a little bit closer at the solo, well, first that little introduction. So that's a F, open, D minor, and that's a B flat, but it's a B flat major 7th because the first string is open. And I keep coming back to this C, which is a C6. That's what you get when you play the open strings. Then I started right out on the, okay, so in the solo, same chords, but with melody add. See there I'm playing a D minor, but I'm catching both these with one finger, and I'm catching that melody note. There's the diminished chord, and it just finishes on that C7. And the rest of it is pretty straightforward, just on the chords. There's that diminished chord again. It's just repeating sections of the tune, and so on, ending on an F chord. So, and all of course the solo is going to be written out as well as the backup part in the written material that you get with this lesson. But what we're going to do now is slow the tempo down and split the screen so you can get a close-up look at what I'm doing in both the instrumental solo part of this tune and the backup part as well. A trifle to do, because I am living a life full of you. The